Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. And before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. Welcome to our Raiders game preview. This is the biggest game of the year so far, Nick. Raiders, Broncos, a must-win.
Yeah, this is definitely a must-win for a number of reasons. We got to get our first win out of the way. You're at home, and this is a division game. You don't want to start off 0-4, and you don't want to start off 0-2 in the division. This is our first division home game. I keep on saying we're at home and everything. It's a good time to get your first all out of the way. It starts this week, and hopefully we do it. Big game, lots at stake, and we don't want our season to go to waste and be an 0-4 hole.
Yeah, at home, we're the best scenario we can be. Mm-hmm. At home, in Las Vegas, 1 o'clock game.
Yeah,
and wake up in the morning, watch some football, and then it's Raider time.
Hell yeah!
So Raiders, Broncos, it's gonna be a fun one. ESPN has the Raiders winning this football game.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's going to be Bronco fans are questioning their team. Raider fans questioning their team. Let's see what team could put together a full game.
Yeah. I think if you just look at the way both of these teams play, things aren't going right. But for Denver, they're finding ways to win. And, I said in the last video, prop to them. They're 2-1. They're a pretty good football team. They're defensively carried. They're struggling on offense a little bit. I think they're only giving up 12 points a game. Haven't scored 20 in a game yet this season. And so, DC always has a good game against this Denver defense, no matter who's coordinating it or who's running it. And, I expect the same thing out of it and for us to get their victory.
Yeah, here we go. Let's look at the quarterbacks in this matchup. Russell Wilson, a struggling Russell Wilson, a Derek Carr, who is not playing up to his standards, I would say. I think whoever has the best quarterback play is going to win this football game.
Yeah, and I think this game's going to be based off of pressure. Who's going to pressure the quarterback? They got a two-headed monster over there in Chubb and in Randy Gregory, and we got Max Crosby. And
you wanted to say Chandler Jones, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit, but we got Max Crosby. And
Let's see if someone steps up.
Yeah.
Kuntz, Farrell, someone steps up.
Exactly, but so whoever gets after the quarterback the most, I think we'll win this ball game. And for Russell Wilson, he likes to get out of that pocket a little bit and scramble and do whatever it takes. We got to take him down. Starts with the edge rushers, maybe some linebackers in there. Get him and get him down and let him not create stuff with his legs, because that's when he's the most dangerous.
This might be a game where you might throw in some more blitz in this game. We haven't been getting pressure the last 3 weeks. We have a Russell Wilson who, he wants to run and get out of the pocket, but he isn't as athletic as he used to be.
Yeah.
And I think if you bring in those, bring in the blitz, bring in those linebackers, the corners sometimes, then I think we can really get to Russell Wilson and we can stop the run game really well.
Yeah, because I think you need pressure. However you're going to get it, you need it, because you don't want him sitting there in the back for a long time. And also, like I said, they're struggling a little bit on offense. They haven't scored 20 points. They're barely winning football games. It's coming down to the wire for them. They put up 11 and 1 against San Francisco. So
yeah, it's coming down to the wire for them as it is us.
Yeah.
But they have found a way to win 2 of them. Mm-hmm. So they're, like you said, a team that's won football games. They know how to win, even if they're not playing great football. Raiders, aren't playing great football and haven't won and had chances to win. So we'll see. 0-3. There was a huge lightning strike over Allegiant Stadium. Is that the thing that boosts the Raiders? Get the win this week? Maybe beat the Chiefs? Go into the bye feeling good? What do you think?
I was thinking the same exact thing. This is the kind of thing that you see and then be like, ever since that lightning strike, Raiders haven't lost. Or ever since that lightning strike, they even haven't lost at home or whatever.
Last year was the coin.
Yeah,
the coin flip that had like the Raiders record or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was perfect through like 14 or 15 games.
Yeah, it was pretty perfect. The power of the coin. This year it's the lightning strike. It's the lightning strike over Allegiant Stadium, I believe.
So, I think, other teams have it, hey, they haven't lost since this, or ever since this happened, this player's gone off and done this. Hopefully that's a sign for great things to come. And we'll see, and it all starts Sunday.
we're not the Chargers, but we're going to be the team most known for a bolt this season. We'll see what happens. All that don't matter if we don't beat the Broncos, though. In a very crazy game, let's look at the Raider defense. You got a struggling defensive line besides Max Crosby. Yeah. Who's going to get pressure? Is someone going to step up? I think that's the questions we're all asking.
Yeah, on this defense, Perryman has returned to practice.
Yes.
Trayvon Merrick has returned to practice. Don't know their status as of right now for the game, but it's looking good if they are practicing, and we're going to need it, especially Perryman. That Tennessee game with Derrick Henry, you miss him a lot. And I think in that second half in Arizona or against Arizona, you missed him a lot with Kyler just running back there and the stuff that they were doing. It's going to be good to have him back. It's going to be good to have Merrick back. And see how this defense really goes.
Perryman's a game changer. He is a difference maker in a football game. He's he's an elite linebacker. So when he's missing, there's a lot missing from that Raider defense.
Yeah, and he really hasn't played at all this year. He got hurt early in the Charger game. So hopefully he comes in, kind of plays like last year, and really leads this team in tackles again. And we know with him, no missed tackles, and he just does everything right.
And, the good thing, we haven't had Perryman, which, linebacker's a huge deal. That's the captain on the field.
Yeah.
But this defense has looked, really good at times. At times, they look rock bottom really bad, and we're talking at halftime, what's wrong with the Raider defense? But then, I don't know, somehow every game, they seem to redeem themselves after a bad quarter or a bad half, and they go perfect. It's just this Raider defense is kind of inconsistent.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see some consistency from them in this game. I think they're going to put up 4 good quarters of football, and I think the offense is going to put up only 3 good quarters of football, but that's going to be enough to win the football game.
Yeah, I think with defense can definitely do that this week. They're struggling on offense with the points that they put up and what they're doing. I think their punter punted 10 times last week and had almost 500 yards in punting. So, this is a great start to do it. They're struggling. You're kind of struggling. Be consistent. Play for 4 quarters of good football. And, that's all you can ask for, and turn it on to your offense to see what they can do and how many points they can put up.
Yeah, let's move on to the Raider offense. An offense that has struggled, has only put together 2 good quarters of football. And that's kind of why I mentioned, I think they're going to put together 3 really good quarters of football. Yeah. And I think that's enough to win maybe all 3 of the games we played so far.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to finally do it in this game against a really good defense in Denver. And, every year the Broncos defense is hyped up. It seems like the Raiders shut that up really quickly.
Yeah, and it always seems like, I think one year Carr had under 200 yards passing, but threw for 3 or 4 touchdowns against them. And then, when they have elite corners and elite linebackers and everything coming at him, he throws for 300 yards and has the game out of his ass. You know what I mean? So, he's really good with his Denver defense. So far, in this past 3 or 4 years, just really good. And so, hopefully that continues, and he's got the weapons to do it, and I think we got the weapons to exploit this defense and do whatever we want.
Yeah, should be a fun one. Raiders, Broncos. Broncos need it. Raiders need it.
Yeah.
Nick, who is your offensive player of the game in this football game?
I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs. I think this is the one, we've talked about it. He's running good. He's running with a purpose again. I think this is the game where you're going to look at his stats and be like, wow, I can't believe he just did that. Over 100-yard game, a touchdown or 2. And, I think he balls out and has a good day.
I think offensive player of the game is going to be Devontae Adams. And I think that because you could see the frustration on his face. I think Carr is kind of realizing what's kind of happening in this offense now.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting a grasp of when Devontae will be open, when he's not going to be open, when he's going to be best used as a decoy.
Yeah.
And I think these 3 weeks, I think watching the film, I think everyone on, NFL Network and people highlighting it, I think Carr listens to that stuff. Not that's a bad thing or a good thing, but I think with all this stuff coming out, I think he's going to find a way to give Devontae the ball. I bet you he's doing a bunch of research of all these plays are doing, when Devontae's getting open, how many plays in a game he's getting open, because he has not thrown the ball that much in the last 2 games. But I think this is going to be a big game for Devontae. I think Derek Carr's going to find it.
I think there's too much chatter of DC and Devontae, and that you're missing them and you're doing this. And it was a whole, 10-minute segment on ESPN with Dan Orlovsky or whatever. So, this could be the week where even if he has to force it to him, he does. And I like that pick too, to where it's.
I like forcing it to him. You think Rodgers didn't force it to Rodgers? Oh, he did. He forced it to Rodgers because he has faith in him. He has trust in him. 50-50 balls for Devontae Adams are probably 80-20 to Devontae's way. So give him the ball and let's go to work. I think let Devontae do what Devontae do. That's probably my saying now for the rest of the season. Now your defensive player of the game.
Defensive player of the game, I mean, the only one who's really been playing defense is the last 3 weeks, and I think Max Crosby. Max Crosby's been throwing these tackles around like they're nothing and getting in the quarterback's face, and even the run game, he's throwing them there and getting to the running back really quick. And we saw that really quick with Derrick Henry. He was just in his face and everything, and I think he's going to have a good game, keep this season rolling, and maybe a sack or two and a lot of hurries.
I'll match you, Max Crosby, and we're gonna count up all these picks and see who won at the end of the year. Who has better picks or whatever. But I'm going Max Crosby. It's no secret. He's been playing great all year long, and I expect him to have another big day, especially with a sort of running quarterback in Russell Wilson, on the fact that he thinks he's faster than he really is, I think, right now. Because I think he's slowed down a couple steps. So I think it's going to be a big day for Max Crosby.
Yeah, and, this isn't a safe bet. This isn't anything. Until someone steps up and proves that they're an anchor on defense too.
Yeah.
Then
we'll start picking other people.
Then we can start saying, hey, well, this guy or this guy or this guy. Like we said, in coverage, I don't like Abram in coverage, but I love him in the box, coming after a running back, coming after what's called. But that's not going to be all the time he's going to do that. And it just seems like the most consistent player on this team is Max Crosby, because we still don't know the availability of Hobbs if he's not going to play this weekend.
Yeah, at the time of recording, we did not know Hobbs is going to play. Now, score predictions. Nick, what do you think?
Looking at numbers, what we do, what they do, what they haven't done, what we kind of haven't done, I think we win this ball game 2017. We had the ability to score 20, and they haven't yet, and I think their defense kind of stops us a little bit, but I think our offense is way too overpowered. This is the week where it clicks. I know I say that every week. I think this is where it clicks at the right time. Things go our way, and we walk out of there with the 2017 victory.
I think we're going to beat them 24-17, and I think it's going to be a tight one. Probably going to come down to the wire. It just seems like that's what's happened for the Broncos all season long. That's what happens for the Raiders all season long. So it's probably going to be a battle. Probably going to be finished. Maybe the last play of the game. Never know. But I got 24-17 Raiders. I hope they control this game, but obviously we can't predict anything like that, because you never know. Russell Wilson. Remember last week I said Derrick Henry's going to have the best game of this year against us, and Tannehill's gonna have the best game against us, and that's just gonna happen because it's Raider week for everybody.
And they came out and monster halves,
and they came out and had their best games. I wouldn't be surprised if Russell Wilson somehow becomes Russell Wilson of old, and is a little solid quarterback and puts up 20, 28 or something. But it's about us and see if we match them and all that. So, but I'm feeling pretty good.
I just like what we've been doing against Denver these past, I think you can say 3 or 4 years. Even if it's in Denver or if it's at home, we've had their number a bit, and and let's continue that. DC's played well against Denver. We've all played well against Denver. There's been some good dominating victories. I know there was one last year, and then the one leading up to playoffs. kind of slowed down a little bit. It was a little tight game. I think we won a low-scoring game. We still came out of there with a win. Let's continue dominating these guys. This is one of the teams that personally I don't like. There's a lot of hype around him with Russell Wilson this, Russell Wilson that. Russell Wilson has yet to put up 20 points. I get we have yet to get a win, but this is the week where it all flips and changes, and we finally put the win on our win column and get this thing turned around.
Yeah, gonna be a battle. A Denver Broncos team that they can beat us. They can beat us.
Yeah.
A Raider team that I feel like can beat the Broncos too. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's a do or die for the Raiders and a huge game for the Broncos and the Bronco fans. If they lose this one, they're not feeling good. If they win this one, I think they're feeling really good.
Because I think if we win, it goes like this. Denver kind of goes down.
Yeah.
And we're on the rise. We're up and feeling good going into Kansas City next week. But if they win, then they got all the, they're in first place right now. They got all the momentum. We're 0-4. 0-4 is basically a quarter of the season. You go a quarter of the season without winning. That's what gets scary. You don't want to be 0-4 and then, go to Kansas City and do that before your bye and potentially being winless against the bye. So this is a big week. This is where it all starts, and you've got to get a win this week. Not only for yourself, for your fans, for this organization, and, put some hope, put some life back in your season.
Gonna be a battle. Raiders, Broncos. We'll see you guys for the game recap. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.